Those were the good old days. Those are the days that the greatest generation that saved the world. Now everybody's got a motherfucking opinion. Do you really care? Do you really think anybody cares about your opinion? I forgot yesterday morning to go around and my name's Rufus. I'm 24 years old. I'm from hell. And just your first name, your age, and where you're from. You don't even have to use your real name. I don't give a shit. Just it's more for the age. So we'll start here.
I'm Jim, 50, from Belgium.
Zayden, 21, US.
Gene, 45, Albuquerque.
Danny, 32.
Andrea, 32, Italy.
Malinda, 42, Australia.
Tosh, 32, UK.
Marcus, 50, UK.
Lokesh, 45, India.
Cameron, 36, Los Angeles.
John, 39, Los Angeles.
Luke, 24, Australia.
Elivon, 33, Miami, Florida.
Dave, 41.
Mahmoud, 29, France.
Sean, 35, Florida.
Benjamin, 20, Bay Area, California.
Leslie, 32, Netherlands.
Felipe, 31, live in Dallas, from Brazil.
David, from Melbourne, 58.
Jan, 42, living in Luxembourg.
Amber, US.
Nick, Dallas, Texas, 40.
Stuart, I'm from North Carolina, 31.
Now this is an older group. Normally we're 2 or 3 years younger in average age. And to me, you're still young. And as I was walking in, Kat says, well, don't you want to remind them of this? And I said, they're not fucking children. I don't want. And then when I think about it, you are children, but I'm not going to remind you what she told me to remind you anyway. And we'll see who fucks up. It's easier, you know? Do they still have blanket parties in the military? Blanket parties, you fuck up. The Dutch always fuck up. The fuck up, and so then tonight they come and they throw a blanket over you and they beat you until they can see blood coming through the blanket. Those are the good old days. You look shocked, bloody shocking. It was actually, that was invented in the public school, which means private school in Britain. When you go away to boarding school, that and they fucked you in the ass. You know what punk means? To stick it up your ass. That's where the term punk came from, punking. And you and I went to Eton together. I'm senior to you. That means you're my fag because you went to get my cigarettes, fag. Now it's taken on another meaning now. But I mean, a lot of this started, it actually started in Roman times and but I mean, the Brits refined it. I have neighbors here that went away to boarding school before their 3rd birthday. Before their 3rd birthday, they went away to boarding school. And when they come and they meet somebody new, they snap their heels together. That's how they were, at attention. And they were seen and not heard. Everybody understand that? The kids are seen, but they don't say a fucking word. Those were the good old days. Those are the days that the greatest generation that saved the world. Now everybody's got a motherfucking opinion. Do you really care? Do you really think anybody cares about your opinion? No. But you give them tacit approval because you listen to them. Remember tacit approval? You just sit and listen, and then and Miss Real Estate over here might even nod her head up and down like that, and so that's a yes, and it goes from there. And now we are where we are in 2019, all fucked up beyond all recognition. It's an evil circle we spin. Last night you saw what? Oh, my good buddy Ray. Was anybody shocked to see how he was? And that's not even the real. That's about 10-20% real. He was 4 or 5 times worse than that. But towards the end of his age, when he got in his 70s, he was a grand old man, philanthropist, giving lots of, it's a typical picture. Just like me, I'm no different. Support people all over the world. So what are the takeaways from the founder? Yes, sir.
Never do a handshake for you. Oh, shit.
I agree with that. Although I had I'll tell you, when we're off camera, I had a handshake deal for 25 years that I got paid a lot of money over 25 years on a handshake with one of the, allegedly, the biggest crooks on the planet. And what else about the founder? Yes, sir.
Persistence and laser focus. What I want, I take it.
What was that?
Whatever I want, I take it.
Take it. That's the operative word, and that's how you have not lived your life. You haven't taken shit other than toilet paper to wipe your ass. Some of you in this room have never taken anything. Now, I'm not suggesting you go home and you teach your little kids or grandkids to take shit away from kids on the schoolyard, but you've never taken anything. And why haven't you taken anything? Because you want to be late. Why would anybody like a fucking bald-headed, skinny shit like you anyway? I mean, what? What else about the founder? Yes, sir.
Sensitivity equal poverty.
Now, there's a clue here. Success leaves clue. Every fucking film you're gonna see, save one, gives the same message. Take. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. No fucking tacit approval. Every single film but one. And I'll be surprised if you guys can figure out which one of the films by the end of the day, by the end of the week, you probably won't even be able to tell because you're going to be inundated with take, choke, hit, fuck. And that's why we're here to do that. Yes, some of you, when you go across the gate, the magic gate from Disney World here into the real world, you forget instantly. As soon as a fucking cab driver asks you something and you want him to like you and you're gonna say something nice to him. Deb says default's a bitch. Default's a motherfucking bitch. What else about the founder? Yes, sir.
When his wife asked when you're going to stop, say, I will never be enough.
It never will. That's what I'm training for you. You'll never be enough. Yes, ma'am.
Everybody around me has to be on the same page.
Praise Allah to that. And when you go back, there's nobody on your... No, when I mean nobody, I mean nobody. As far as your significant others being supportive, when we talk about doofus tests, my first appointments, I find out when your wife's birthday is, and that's, oh, you want to meet me? 10 o'clock at night on your wife's birthday. That's the first meeting with me. Valentine's Day, your daughter's sweet 16 birthday party, Christmas Eve, Hanukkah, Yom Kippur. I love New Year's Eve, is my favorite. New Year's Eve. You want to meet Mr. Pena? 11 o'clock New Year's Eve for 20 minutes. And most of my meetings are 20 minutes long. So it's not like I'm inviting you for New Year's Eve. There was somebody else. Yeah.
Come back to you.
Okay.
Simulation. On the tennis court, they need the simulation to check out what's the best option, best way.
Business is war. My competitor was on the floor drowning. I will put a hose pipe right in his mouth.
Hey, fucking man! I know guys on this wall, if your mother had one gasp of breath left in her life, they would stick their dick in her mouth to make sure she didn't get it. And you revere these guys. Stalin wasn't that fucking bad. Hitler wasn't that goddamn bad. Mao Zedong was bad. Yes, sir.
After the buyer, when the seller is really motivated, it's like in a hospital bed.
And you're gonna figure out, well, the ones that succeed the fastest. Some of you are gonna come out of the gates like jackrabbits. Some of you are gonna come out like sloths. You know, these prehistoric animals that move 1 inch a month. But the ones that understand the difference between a motivated seller and a not motivated seller, in other words, between a prospect, someone that will talk to you, or, a suspect, somebody that will talk to you, and a prospect, somebody that will buy from you or sell to you, are two different things. And you don't have to take them to lunch, you don't have to take them to dinner, you don't have to buy them, you don't have to do shit. But you'll think, because if I'm gonna take them to lunch, some asshole wants to meet me in fucking Los Angeles and he wants to buy me lunch. I don't need lunch. I don't want lunch. Familiarity breeds contempt. I never want to have 1 microsecond, well, the guy bought me lunch, so I'm not gonna cut his throat. The guy sent my wife flowers. And for those of you that sent me gifts over Christmas, thank you, but I mean, we didn't need them. And remember, Chinese water torch, it's not the first 50,000 drops that make you crazy. It's the 5 millionth drop. So the 5 millionth exposure to snowflakiness is what breaks you down. Some of you, the first 50 snowflakes will break you down because you're just a vagina. You're a natural born vagina, flapping like this. In Bangkok, they have bars where women shoot ping pong balls from their vagina and they hit guys that far away. Doom, doom, doom. And then the same guy, you look like the guy too, the same guy will come and put like a silver dollar on their tongue, and the woman snaps it off with her vagina lips off his tongue. Today, right now, in Bangkok, this very instant right now. And there's one bar after the next bar after the next bar. And they're not all drunken servicemen that are there. They're little perverts like you that can't get their willy wet. It's beyond my comprehension that you can't get laid in 2019. I can't fucking understand it. What else about the founder? Yes, sir.
He didn't let any circumstances constrain him, and he pushed through every barrier that he faced.
Now, well, has anybody said anything that's rocket science so far? Well, then why can't you do it? Why haven't you done it?
We're cunts.
Thank you. Say it louder.
We're cunts.
Correct. And your family were cunts. And your grandparents were cunts. Now, back in World War II time, the Chinese, the Japanese, everybody had a pair, you know? Now, you gotta search and make sure, and now you gotta search if they really got a pair or not, you know? What else? Yes, sir.
Fortune favors the bold. So he's willing to be audacious and go for it and think big.
Elon Musk is a classic example of that today. And he pays a $20 or $25 million fine to the SEC for stock manipulation, is really what he did. If you had done it, you'd go to jail. But instead, he only had to pay a $20 million fine. And then he told him, fuck you, the SEC is worthless. You know, they fined me, but they're still worthless. They're all stupid. He should have got another fine. Elon with the greatest respect, but he didn't because he's Elon Musk and he has a cult following. Just like Josh Kim has a cult following. What else? Yes?
You have to have good accountants and lawyers on your team because it was the accountant that figured out that he needs to buy the land.
Correct. Not Schwartz and Company, two little Chinese guys or CPAs out of the garage that are your brother-in-laws. He was a ruthless son of a bitch, too. And the longer you're dead, the more of an expose do they write. Chappaquiddick just came out about Ted Kennedy killing that girl decades ago. The movie people have been trying to get that on the movies for 30 years. Kennedy's a powerful family. 50 years, almost on the anniversary, and 50 years of that accident where he left the girl to die. Anything else? Yep.
The power of a new concept.
Yep. And of course now the McDonald's idea, the McDonald's model, the McDonald's framework is part of culture. I mean, many other franchises have developed that. And now the Golden Arches is, it's part of the American fabric. I remember when a McDonald's hamburger was 15 cents. I remember 15 cents. Okay, what else? You saw something else?
Dan Love.
Who?
Self-image.
Dan, my mentee. I can't remember. Was he wearing his red suit in the thing? Yeah. We're going to talk about that, Dan, when I see you in a couple weeks. What about Dan? Yep.
Your self-image can either hold you prisoner or set you free, depending on how you see yourself.
Yes, sir.
Self-image is more important than
Hell is meeting the man woman you could.
Now, there was a scene. There was a famous. One of the first famous porn movies of the 70s called when she had a clitoris in her throat, deep throat. And one of the closing scenes, one of the scenes is her hell. She went to hell, not her, but one of the people in the movie went to hell, and the hell was never quite reaching orgasm for eternity. Now that's a bitch. And but seeing the person you could have been is analogous to that. And one of the things for the kids that take years to accomplish, complete the QLA model is every 2 or 3 years they wake up and they bump into one of you that they know through some circumstance. And see him go by in his Rolls limo, or see him on the news, meeting with the prime minister, or getting out of his big jet plane, and then that kickstarts him again, because while they were in class, you've already taken an opinion, some of you in this room, that, well, this guy, if this monkey can do it, I can do it, okay? You should have already taken an opinion vis-a-vis the stuff that you've looked on YouTube, that, well, if a 17-year-old kid can do it, Jesus, Jeezy Weezy. Or if a half-breed mongoloid retard from South America can do it, or a German that can't speak fucking English can do it. But see, you haven't been taught to think that way. You've been taught to think, well, maybe he's special. There is nobody that's special. Reverse engineer it. You're not special. On that happy note, go fuck yourself, YouTube.